The Heidelberg Hustle podcast is proudly sponsored by Silver Security Group and Heidelberg Times.
Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Heidelberg Hustle. My name's Neil,
And I'm Ronald.
and we're going to have a quick look at the summary of news from Heidelberg over the past week.
New safety alliance between two prominent security structures delivers immediate results.
Jarelange inwoner van plaaslike ouerhuis vier 100ste verjaarsdag.
Heidelberg se Massinsedani, eersdags op kyknet. En in die sportnuus, Heidelberg rugby weer bo op die Merlin Liga na oorwinning oor Sasolburg Cobras.
And the Western Race for Hope, just around the corner. Also coming up in this episode, a feature about the number of terrible road accidents happening in and around Heidelberg.
And in another episode of Things We Don't Talk About, Prisha will be talking about men's mental health.
And finally, to close off, we'll have another comedy insert from our fabulous friend, Crazy Very.
Enjoy the show, everyone. An agreement between the Rensburg Forum and the Rotunda Anti-Crime Unit to work together has been reached. A major win for community safety in Rensburg, as a swift, coordinated sting operation has taken suspected drugs and stolen goods off the streets. It all started with a single tip-off from a concerned resident. The information was relayed by the Rensburg Forum to SAPS Heidelberg, sparking a high-speed response that unfolded in mere minutes. Multiple arrests were made on the scene. While the Rensburg Forum is commending SAPS for their professional and calm handling of the operation, they're also reminding the public that this success belongs to the community. Die opgewondenheid by Massinsedani in Heidelberg loop hoog. Kyknet het aangekondig dat 'n insetsel oor die dagsorgsentrum op ontbytsake uitgesaai gaan word. Maak seker jy is ingeskakel op kanaal 144 op 16 Mei 2026. Dankie aan MTC Accounting vir die borg van die insetsel en Clearwald Productions wat die groep op film vasgelê het.
Baie geluk aan Tannie Stofie van die Suikerbos-Oord Heidelberg Vereniging vir Bejaardes. Sy het hierdie week 100 jaar oud geword. Hierdie is inderdaad 'n groot mylpaal. Een van Tannie Stofie se agterkleinkinders is die bekende jong Klein Kwagga. Baie geluk Tannie. The controversial mayor's house in Berse is set to go under the hammer at an auction on Wednesday, May the 20th. The house, originally intended for then Mayor Lerato Maloka, has cost the taxpayer nearly 1.9 million rand, according to an article by City Press in June of 2025, and still the structure is incomplete. The same article also reported that council later resolved to discontinue the project. No explanation was given as to why the project was halted. Chances are that only a fraction of this expenditure will be recovered at the auction, and I'm sure you will agree, wasteful spending of public funds like this without explanation is simply not acceptable. Road accidents in and around Heidelberg are a terrible problem for our town. We've been doing a little bit of investigating, and here's what we found out. Hi everyone, today we're standing in front of one of Heidelberg's top accident spots. Behind me is the intersection where the N3 off-ramp joins the R42 Jacob Street. Now here you can see in the background we used to have robots here. Now we have nothing. Further down on the other side of the highway, same thing. Down at the bottom by Volkswagen, by the high school, robots not working. So we've got to ask ourselves the question, who's to blame for all the accidents that are happening around Heidelberg? This is just one of the hotspots that we have. Now, we can't afford to be losing lives on a weekly basis on our roads. It's just not acceptable as a community. So who's to blame? Here we don't have robots that haven't worked. It's not the municipality. Let's make that very clear. This is a provincial road that is a provincial problem. So we have to ask ourselves the question, do we have to blame the authorities or do we have to blame ourselves? For us here at Heidelberg Hustle, we think both are to blame. We have a number of ignorant drivers in our town, in and around our town. We need to go and have a look at ourselves before we start apportioning blame. Take a look at the clips we've collected over the past 3 or 4 days, just as an example. Let's have a look. As one can see, road markings could be a problem, and maintenance of roads, traffic lights, etc. need to improve. However, using the example of the R23 seen here on the intersection with Low Street, there are signs there indicating both a stop 200 meters and high accident zone on both sides of the R23. So whether you're from Heidelberg or out of town, there should be no excuse for not stopping at the stop street. As you can see, many people seem to think it's a yield or it's just not a stop. This has been a 3-way stop for nearly 2 years now. Actually, it's more than 2 years. So are we just being ignorant as drivers, or are the authorities to blame? We think it might be both. Come on, Heidelberg, we can do better. If you see a stop street, make sure you come to a dead stop. We don't need any more deaths on our roads. En ons begin weer die sportsegment met rugby. Ronald, nog 'n groot oorwinning vir die Berge oor die naweek.
Dis reg, ja, Neil. Dit was weer eens 'n uitstekende spel deur Heidelberg se eerste span gewees. Hulle het met 'n oorwinning van 50 punte teenoor 32 weggestap teen Sasol Cobras se eerste span. En ons tweede span het ook 'n goeie terugvegpoging gewys vanaf laas naweek se vertoning en het self met 14 punte teenoor 12 gewen. Baie geluk aan die Berge.
Ja, Ronald, en Nantes Meton, hy maak 'n slot van die Berge. Ek hoor hy het 'n redelike goeie game gehad die naweek.
Dis baie waar, Neil. Hy het vir sy 50ste liga wedstryd vir die Berge uitgedraf die afgelope Saterdag en hy het regtig uitstekende wedstryd gehad en is ook in sy 50ste wedstryd as speler van die wedstryd aangewys. Ons het na die tyd 'n vinnige onderhoud met hom en kaptein Zander de Tooy gevoer. Ons kyk gou daarna.
Okay, saam met ons is Nantes Meton, slotspeler vir die Berge. Nantes, baie geluk met jou 50ste game.
Okay.
Hoe voel dit om 50 punte teen Sasol aan te teken vandag?
Baie lekker. Voel baie lekker. Ek voel ons het Dinsdag hierdie weer ons bietjie geplaas, kon nie oefening insit nie, maar die manne het gepitch. Laas naweek se game was baie closer. Ons het geweet ons gaan moet 2 keer harder kom. En ek dink ons het job well done. Dit was baie lekker, was vir my moeë trots.
Wel dan, wat beteken 50 games vir die Berge vir jou?
Dis vir my 'n groot achievement, sal ek sê. Dis harde werk, dis baie oefeninge, dis baie games. Sit jou lyf op die spel elke naweek en dis 'n span, saam die span, is lekker. Dis baie lekker.
Baie geluk.
Baie dankie. Dankie.
Saam met ons Zander de Tooy, kaptein van die Berge vandag. Zander, baie geluk met die oorwinning. Hoe voel dit om 50 punte teen Sasol aan te teken?
Ja, dis 'n groot eer om dit teen hulle te kan doen. Definitief die hardste span wat ons hierdie jaar gehad het en dit voel baie lekker om 'n 50 teen hulle te kan sit.
En lekker om saam met Nantes te speel op sy 50ste.
Ja nee, wat 'n eer om saam met hom bietjie te kan jol op sy 50ste, saam om die jaar te kan jol. Hy's 'n goeie speler.
Baie geluk, wel dan.
Dankie, maar waardeer.
Ja, dis fantasties om van die manne so te hoor. Lyk my hulle is regtig lus vir die seisoen. Hierdie Saterdag reis ons spanne van 'n Belpark toe, waar hulle die spanne van VUT gaan ander. Ronald, daar's nie 'n maklike game in hierdie liga nie, maar ons hou duim vas vir die manne.
Ja, definitief Neil, daar is nie so ding soos 'n maklike wedstryd nie, veral in die middenliga van die Valke. Hou Heidelberg Times dop vir meer besonderhede oor hierdie wedstryd en in volgende week se derde episode van Heidelberg Hustle gesels ons oor die uitslae. The highly popular Western Race for Hope is upon us. Neil, could you tell us a bit more about this?
Sure, Ronald. Only 8 days left before the highly popular Western Race for Hope. This is going to be a day full of fun for the whole family. Whether you're just coming along to ride your bike, have a walk with the family, or a competitive cyclist looking to win that first prize, there's something for the whole family. Make sure you're at the Poortjiesaal on Saturday, the 23rd of May. You don't want to miss this. It's going to be an absolutely fabulous event.
In today's episode of Things We Don't Talk About with Prisha, Prisha's got a very special message for men. Neil?
Yes, Ronald, today is actually Men's Mental Health Day. And Brisha talks to us again about a topic that we don't really ever want to talk about. Let's see what she has to say.
15 May, 2:47 a.m. A phone rings. Not loudly, not dramatically, just another call in the middle of the night. And on the other side of that line was a man. Quiet, too quiet. Not angry, not screaming, not emotional, just tired. The kind of tired sleep can't fix. And he said, I don't think I can do this anymore. And if I'm honest with you, that sentence is sitting inside millions of men right now. Men who still go to work, still pay the bills, still smile at people, still post online, still say, I'm fine. While mentally, emotionally, psychologically, they are collapsing in silence. So I stayed on the line with him, and we spoke. Not about suicide first, not about death first, we spoke about life. And the pressure of always having to be strong. About how men are taught to provide, but not how to break down safely. About how boys grow into men who fix everyone else's problems, but feel ashamed when they cannot fix their own minds. He told me that he hadn't cried in years. Not because he didn't want to. Because somewhere along the line, the world convinced him that pain makes a man weak. He told me his marriage was falling apart, that he felt disconnected from his children, that he was drinking more, sleeping less, thinking darker thoughts every night. And nobody knew. Because men don't always say, I need help. Sometimes it comes out as anger, withdrawal, addiction, silence, burnout, aggression, working nonstop, emotional numbness. Sometimes the loudest cry for help is complete silence. Society still gets something wrong. Men don't need another lecture telling them to just talk. Men need spaces where they feel safe enough to talk without being mocked, dismissed, emasculated, or judged. Because too many men have learned that vulnerability gets weaponized against them. And so they suffer quietly until quiet becomes dangerous. The reality is men are dying emotionally long before they do physically. And Mental Health Awareness Day for men cannot just become another hashtag with motivational quotes and staged social media posts. We need to talk about the fathers breaking under financial pressure, the husbands silently battling depression, the teenage boys self-harming in private, the men using alcohol, gambling, pornography, drugs, gym, obsession, work, or rage to escape what they cannot emotionally process. We need to talk about the men who were never taught emotional language. The men who heard, man up, stop crying, be strong, don't be weak. And now, they are adults trying to survive emotional pain with absolutely no emotional tools. Near sunrise, the man on the phone became quiet again. And then he said something I will never forget. I didn't actually want to die. I just didn't want the pain like this anymore. And that right there is what people miss. Most suicidal people do not truly want death. They want the pain to stop. There is a difference. And sometimes one conversation, one moment of feeling seen, one person staying on the line long enough can interrupt tragedy. So today, on Men's Mental Health Day, I need you to understand. Checking on men is not weakness. Therapy is not weakness. Medication is not weakness. Crying is not weakness. And asking for help is not weakness. Pretending everything is okay while you are mentally drowning, that is what destroys people. To every man watching this, you do not have to earn the right to be helped. You do not have to hit rock bottom before your pain matters, and you do not have to carry everything alone just because the world told you that is what men do. and to the people around them. Listen better, watch closer, stop laughing at men's pain, stop dismissing emotional shutdown as just stress, stop rewarding emotional suppression and then acting shocked when men explode, disappear, relapse, or take their own lives. Because sometimes the strongest man in the room is the one barely surviving the war in his own mind. And sometimes all it takes is someone willing to stay on the line until sunrise.
And to finish off our show today, another piece of fabulous comedy from our good friend, Crazy Barry.
That's correct. This is another video that Vary did for us a couple of years ago at Heidelberg Times. Everyone, thank you so much for watching the second episode of Heidelberg Hustle. We hope to see you again next week. Same place, same time. Take care.
Thanks, everybody. And remember, subscribe, like, and share wherever you can. Have a good week.
Hello everybody, thanks. Welcome to the bush. Look what I found here. It's all a bloody tigerkie. Look at it. Wait, we're trying to follow it. Just give me a moment. No, man. It was so nice. Look how bloody camouflage it is. Actually, look like a grassie. Wait, I find it for you, yeah? There it is. Can you see that? Yeah, bookie. Meow, meow. I didn't know. Wait. I find it for you. You by grass. Can you see that? Can you see the bookie there? Oh, mama se ou reisies uitwerimpie. Aren't that a nice surprise about the morning, huh? So freezing. Everything was so cold here. But then you can find a little bookie here, huh? Oh, so it was so nice. You can't make biltong from that one, because that's like a chili bite. It's a fin and small. In any case, thanks.